Welcome. You are listening to the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you better call me Sister Speak. What's happening? Welcome, my brothers and my sisters. You are definitely listening to the Suspense Files, where we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime for all shades of brown people. Welcome to my first-time listeners, and welcome back to my faithful listeners. I appreciate your likes, shares, subscribes, and your downloads. To my first-time listeners, the Sister Speak Show Network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's 3 minutes after 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas. When you're listening to the Sister Speak Show, you will always need two things: water and scuba gear. Water, because that is your gasoline, that is your healing power, that is how you go. That is reflective power. That is the only panacea that will remedy whatever's ailing you on the inside. We don't want you to be dehydrated. We want you to be hydrated, because on the Sister Speak Show, we are warriors in totality. Scuba gear, because we dive deep on the Sister Speak Show. There are depths and levels that we go to that others may be afraid to actually explore. But not here at the Sister Speak Show Network. We are a bold podcast. We are a podcast that supports the Most High God and Yah. We are a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, and I am pro-village. I am pro-village, pro-healing, pro-my people. Do you understand where I'm coming from? We don't sell out the village on the Sister Speak Show Network at all. On tonight's episode of the Suspense Files, they set it off. All risk, no reward for the love of money. Nobody has to get hurt. Nobody has to get hurt. That's right, brothers and sisters. They set it off. Tonight's episode on the Suspense Files, we're going to be covering the different levels of criminal activity when it comes to money, dealing with banking institutions specifically. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. We're going to go ahead and get into this. I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're pressing through. It's almost 2022. A better me, a better you. We might as well start right now. Some of us have been starting. Now, I don't know how far you're willing to go for money. What are you willing to do and not to do for money? Do you have a love of money? Are you aware that the love of money is the root of all evil? Ooh. Have you seen people do some evil things just to get money? What would you do if you were put in a position where you found some money? Do you turn it in? Do you keep it? If an armored truck spills over, has an accident on the expressway, freeway, highway, or road, are you going to pull over and get you some of that? If somebody makes it rain in the club, are you willing to risk your life just to pick up a couple of dollar bills? How far are you willing to go for money? Are you willing to actually go inside of a financial institution in a disguise or not, with a note and a gun or not, and say, I don't want you to get hurt, but you need to run those monies. Run it. Run me every single ounce of that's in that drawer. And don't you dare make any sudden movements, and don't you dare press that button. I'm going to be in and I'm going to be out, but you read the note. You heard what I said. I don't want you to get hurt. As a matter of fact, nobody has to get hurt. Or will they? We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. What's the point of putting on a bonnet if it's not going to stay on my head? I'm tired of it slipping off and waking up to it the next day. There has to be a better bonnet for me that's stylish and stays on.
Ooh, child. Ooh, it's the pillow for me. I'm just gonna have to sleep pretty. This last shift took me all the way out.
I'm gonna get a bonnet tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm gonna ask Mommy if I can get one for my bear too. Just as soon as I wake up from my nap.
It's time to sleep pretty and protected with these stylish Mommy and Me bonnets available now at kklachey.com. These Mommy and Me bonnets are available in stock and ready for you to maintain your crown. KK Lachey is a look, feel, and vibe. You're able to shop these products and more when you go to the website. It's time to shop and chill with kklachey.com.
Murder, mystery, intrigue, suspense, all of the elements that make up the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show. And the latest episode is available on demand now. On this episode, Expelled, No One Will Tell, Murder in the Student Body. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, from deadly relationships to urban cold cases and more. For all shades of brown people, this episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to click the link and podcast and chill with the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. If no one tells, someone may get away with murder. Are you going to let that happen? We'll see.
Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Welcome back. You are listening to the Suspense Files, where we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. I am Sister Speak, and I am excited to be with you all this evening. Let's get into it. For the love of money is the root of all evil. That is what the word says, and I believe it. Ooh, and there are people who are willing to go to some serious, precarious, perilous lengths in order to obtain money, no matter what their circumstance is or is not. They are willing to risk it all to get what they consider to be the ultimate reward. They don't plan ahead, they just plan for the temporary. They don't expect to get caught. This is something that they've been doing. As a matter of fact, they're not even aware that these next two times will be their last time. Sometimes you can get comfortable in your crime and in your criminal activity. You can get comfortable being a criminal and get comfortable being in your criminal activity that you end up leaving evidence, becoming lazy at what you do because you feel invincible and that you will not be apprehended, that there's nobody on your trail. But oh, here comes the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and they are definitely on your trail. For some reason, there are some couples or just people, individuals, but specifically speaking about the couples who admire the Bonnie and Clyde energy. They feel like it is something almost euphoric, almost like an aphrodisiac to be engaged in this type of criminal activity with your romantic partner, so to speak. And so there are many alleged baby girls and baby boys, what I call them, who pair up and they create an oath, a bond, a lineage, not a lineage, but they create some type of pseudo loyalty to these capers, if you will, that they're going to be participating in. Most of the times it is the man that is encouraging the woman, but sometimes it is the woman encouraging the man. And regardless of who started it or not, they're both in it, and they're in it to allegedly win it. And by going to any type of financial institution, they believe that this is their way to gain. This is their way to actually come into what they have been wanting their entire life. Financial freedom. But some people are not, like I said before, they're hooked on the actual energy that the crime itself, the actual activity itself brings. So they cannot stop. It's like, oh, we'll go one more time, one more time, one more time. And then they become serial at what they do. A serial robber. Now, all parties involved are now what we call, like I said, they're in the lava. From the bank teller, any customers in the building, anybody can get hurt, even though nobody has to get hurt. Nobody should get hurt, because that's the agreement most of the time for both of the partners, baby girl and baby boy, going into the situation. Nobody has to get hurt. We don't have to kill anybody. We just need to be menacing and make them be intimidated, make them feel as if they have no other choice, scare the shit out of them, get it and go. We only have 4 minutes to do it, and we need to do it swiftly, expeditiously, get in and get out. It's allegedly some type of organized crime, but sometimes it's spur of the moment, and sometimes it's, this type of pseudo planning where they feel like they've got everything planned to a T. Then you have, sometimes it's called an inside job, where somebody works there, they know the ins and outs of the company, everything about this institution, and so they know how to give a pretty good blueprint of how these baby girls and baby boys can come on in and infiltrate the financial institution, get what they need, and then everybody can get their cut. They believe that they can set it off. They literally believe that nobody will get hurt, that they can get in and out, get what they need, they won't get caught, their disguises are completely to where nobody can identify them, and that this should not be a problem. But no, that's not the case, because you already know I got audio clips. I have clips that support that these, even if you decide to set it off, that you will end up in a position where you will get apprehended and caught at some point in time, spiritually and physically, because you're stealing. It is a crime, and you're actually going into a situation in your, whatever the situation is, I don't know if you're desperate or not, but whatever it is, you feel like this is what you need to do. And this happens all around the world, locally, nationally and internationally. People are willing to risk it all for this reward. There are many people that are in situations where they need to get a leg up in life. They're tired of being broke. They're tired of being poor, in poverty. They're tired of being in lack. They may feel the pressures of social media to put on, to perform, to catch up, to be like. And so for whatever their reasons are, there is some type of inner pressure that is telling them, and an environmental pressure that is telling them, that the only way that they can make it out of this pit is to go this route and to commit a robbery and go into a bank and set some shit off. They believe that if they set this shit off, that this will be the bridge to the valley. They don't want to climb the mountain. They want to find a way around the mountain to get to the valley, and that's just not how it is set up to be. The struggle is real for many people. There are people who have money who are stressed out in fucked off positions and have no peace, no tranquility, no harmony, and have a million people at their pockets. They have a lot going on because of their money. There are people who have no money, who are desperate, destitute, they have mouths to feed or not. But whatever the situation is, having money brings you problems. Not having money brings you problems. Problems if the energy is not balanced. And I know that nobody wants to be broke. Nobody wants to be without money. Times are hard. Times are soft. It just depends on whatever season you're in. There are a group of people who are doing well for themselves, and they are empathetic, and they give to the community. They have the gift of discernment, and they help people out. There are people who have the same amount of money, that they don't give a fuck about the community, the village, their cousins, their people, and they don't care about poverty. They don't care about helping anybody out, and they keep their money to themselves. They're stingy, they're frugal, and that's just what it is. They see somebody in need and they turn their nose up, and that's just what it is. What type of person are you with the money that you have? What type of heart do you have for the future if you were to get into a position where you are in permanent overflow? Are you willing to help people out? Now, that this does not mean that, oh, you've got to buy your aunt a house, your uncle a house, your cousin. No, I'm not talking about that. With financial gain comes wisdom. So you'll know who to help and who not to help. But what does the future look like with you and you being in permanent overflow? And have you been in a position where you're like, you know what? I'm about to go and get me a wig, some glasses, a hoodie, and I'm about to go up into this bank and I'm about to tell them just to give me about $40. You ain't trying to take the whole institution. You just want 40,000. No, I'm just playing. $4. $4. Give me $4. No, I don't want to hurt nobody. Just give me $4. No, but seriously, whatever the situation is, how desperate have you been for money? Have you done something strange for change? Now, I'm not going to tell you to incriminate yourself or anything like that, but do you feel that going into a bank and robbing it is worth it? Do you feel like there is a reward? Do you feel that this is something that people are doing because they need it, they're desperate, or this is just what the fuck they do? Criminal activity has different degrees of whys people do what they do. But in the end, setting it off, there is no reward. It's all risk. And there are couples who have this bond where they will never, hate on each other. They will never lie on each other. This is, look, they quote unquote pinky swear, I'm not going to snitch. But then when they get in that interrogation room, oh, shit, that bond is definitely breakable. They're definitely going to say something. They're not. Some people hold it down, allegedly. Other people hold it up. But whatever it is, getting caught will now expose how strong this relationship really is and how strong this bond is. Because the last thing anybody expects is to get caught. The last thing anybody expects to get is caught. Brothers and sisters, you are listening to the Suspense Files, covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime for all shades of brown people, mystery, obsessions, thrillers, murder, unsolved cold cases, and more. Are you intrigued? Are you ready? What we're going to do is we're going to listen to some clips for educational purposes only under the Fair Use Act of 1976, Section 107, to raise awareness and to educate my people in the village about creating risk that result in no reward, and that when you decide to set it off, you're setting more off than what you anticipate. And that a life of criminal activity is just not how we, as a superior race, should manifest, we should never even be in that energy. And if we are in that energy, we have to come out of that energy. I'm telling you right now, I understand what it is to need money. I understand what it is to not know what is going to be what. I know that there are people who have different relationships with money. Different relationships with it. Whether you are educated or not. Whether you know about credit or not. All of these different levels of money and maintaining it, being a good steward over it. We all have our relationships with it. Some good, some not good. Some of our relationships with money are even estranged. Some of us want to divorce money. Some of us want to marry money. Some of us are willing to do whatever it takes to get money, but whatever it is, what is your relationship with money? How does it affect your mood, your energy? When you have it, is drinks on you? When you don't have it, it's like, fuck everybody. I can't stand this world. I hate everybody. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. I'm so tired of being broke. I'm so tired of this. I just need $2, $5. I'm just tired of it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't get no onions. I ain't got no pickles. I ain't got no relish. I ain't got no bread, no mayo. I'm just so tired of everything that's going on in my life. I ain't got no gas. I mean, shit is rough. Rough. Rough for some people. And however rough it is, you're praying for a brighter, better day quickly. You want out of it today. You're willing to do whatever it takes to vibrate higher. And there are some of you right now who are 1 second away from saying, hey. I mean, like, some of you right now, you're like, if one more bill comes in, it's going to be this. I mean, it's gonna be. Let me see you touch the ground, and hopefully you pick up a 20. No, seriously, I understand. But these clips that I'm about to share with you, these people just said, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I fucking need to do, and I don't care what the consequence is. I'm willing to set this shit off because I need this money for whatever fucking reason I need it for. And if somebody gets hurt, so be it. If somebody doesn't get hurt, so be it. But what will happen is I will get this money. No, this ain't no fake gun. This is a real note. This is a real gun. This is my 6th robbery. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm a street nigga. I'm a street bitch. And I'm about that fucking life. And I'll even take a life if I have to. But just, please, hand me the money in the drawer. And don't make any fucking sudden movements, or I'll blow your fucking head off. Everybody on the fucking ground right fucking now. That's what that shit is. I'll see you on the other side of these clips. Thank you for listening to the Suspense Files.
Video shows a young woman walking up to a bank clerk, giving the clerk a note demanding money, and that note also claims she was armed with a bomb. Kimberly Gill, live at Detroit Police Headquarters tonight, and I guess maybe 17 years old, Kim, is that right?
Well, Devin, she has a very young-looking face, that's for sure. She kind of reminds me of Rudy Huxtable. That's just how innocent she looks. But this was no angel by any stretch of the imagination. Police say she carried out a very serious crime. Take a good look at this crystal clear surveillance video. Do you know who this is? The video shows what appears to be a very young-looking woman. Police say she robbed this Comerica Bank Thursday in the 18,000 block of Woodward Avenue on Detroit's west side. In the video, you see her walk up to the bulletproof glass. She doesn't say a word, but hands the teller a piece of paper.
She walked up to the teller, gave the teller a note, which demanded money. The note further stated that she was armed with a bomb. The teller did give her an undisclosed amount of U.S. currency, and then she left on foot.
Her lips still not moving. She takes the money, turns around, ducks underneath the divider belt, and walks out as smoothly as she came in. She's wearing a gray hat, jacket, and what appears to be some hot pink or other brightly colored shoelaces. No one was hurt, and police say no one was injured, thanks to the professional way the teller handled it all.
They have to handle things based on what their company protocol is, and so she did what she was trained to do and handled it appropriate. And because she did that, then there was not any threat to any other customers inside the location.
Now, the bank is offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. If you know anything, police would like to hear from you. You can call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. We are live tonight at Detroit Police Headquarters. Kimberly Gill, Local 4.
Come up with a plot to rob a bank where one of them works. As 12 News' Colleen Henry reports new at 6, their haul was remarkable until one of the women made a critical mistake.
Glendale's TCF Bank has been the scene of several bank robberies recently. Police say that inspired a teller here to concoct a plot with her girlfriends.
Don't talk to them.
Are you Alexandra?
No, do I look like Alexandra? You know how Alexandra looks.
Alexandra Lay was not home this afternoon. She's out on bail after police arrested her and her friend Shaniqua Yancey and Tiara Macklin. According to the criminal complaint, Lay was working when Yancey walked into the bank dressed all in black, announced a holdup, and jumped the counter, pointing her finger like a gun. Police say Lay had told Yancey how to avoid security measures, that she took every bundle of cash except the one that set off an alarm, that she ran outside where Macklin waited in the getaway car. According to police, that inside connection here at TCF paid off. They split $100,000 cash and got away with it for almost a month until one of them started bragging. Police arrested the women. Lay denied setting up the heist, but admitted she warned her friends police were looking for the getaway car. Macklin and Yancey told police they spent their split on cars.
You think they bought cars with that money?
That's what it says in the criminal complaint. They got $100,000. Yancey's neighbor Ellen Gray said she knew nothing about the bank robbery, but was surprised by the expensive cars her friends drove and Yancey's new Audi.
They were fancy cars.
Mm-hmm. They were nice cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real nice cars, because I remember thinking, wow, these young people, wonder what kind of job they got. They got better cars than I do.
Yeah. Lay made $5,000 bail. Macklin and Yancey are still in the county jail. If convicted, each of the women faces a maximum 40-year sentence. In Glendale, Colleen Henry, WISN 12 News.
Says it has nabbed the woman who robbed nearly a dozen banks in and around Arlington. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Investigators say what she wore during the crimes earned her the nickname the Black Hoodie Bandit. And when they caught her, they say they found evidence in her car connecting her to those crimes. First on Fox 4 tonight, Brandon Todd is live in Arlington. Brandon.
Steve, Clarice, this bank back behind me attached to this Kroger was the last bank that the suspect walked into, and the arrest warrant affidavit suggests that the reason this bank was not robbed is because the woman in the hoodie knew she'd been caught. Arlington police helped cap a 5-month-long bank robbery caper when they pulled over 37-year-old Dana Campbell, who federal authorities knew as the Black Hoodie Bandit. And in her car they found
dark clothing, dark sunglasses, gloves, those sort of things that this particular bank robbery suspect had been wearing in previous incidents.
The Black Hoodie Bandit was already the target of the FBI. 10 banks since November, 9 of them First Convenience banks. In every one, the suspect description was the same. Posters were up in the bank lobbies, and that's why investigators say when the Black Hoodie Bandit walked into this branch inside the Kroger on Ascension Boulevard in Arlington on March 10th, a customer spoke up immediately. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, the customer turned to the robber and said, "Are you the one who's been robbing all the banks?"
I think in this day and age where there's so much information that's available to the public, they can access information from their phones, from television news, from their publications. They are able to get the information they need to sort of better protect themselves.
The customer turned to the tellers, told them about the bandit, and then quickly left. Almost immediately, investigators say Campbell robbed the bank. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, security personnel began staking out those branches that had not been robbed. On Monday, a security guard at this First Convenience Bank on South Fielder noticed a woman wearing a black hoodie walk in. Federal authorities say it was Campbell. She left quickly without robbing the bank, but it was too late.
And so there was a bank security personnel who was outside, called 911, gave 911 the description of the vehicle she was in, and officers were able to conduct a traffic stop and found that she had outstanding traffic warrants.
In the car, investigators say they found a black hoodie, and plenty of what they say is incriminating evidence. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, a handwritten note was found in one of the pockets of the black jacket. The note read, "This is a robbery. I don't want to hurt anyone." Also, a ledger of all the bank locations that were robbed. The final piece, a photo from one of the robberies shown to Campbell's own mother. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, she looked at the photo and said, "That's my daughter." Campbell is in federal custody right now until a detention hearing that she will have next week. Now, really, the only mention of motive in the affidavit was at the end when Campbell's mother apparently told detectives that her daughter had been out of work since Christmas. Clarice?
Brandon Todd live in Arlington. Thanks.
These are surveillance photos of two women the FBI says dressed as holy sisters to rob a bank. It happened at a Citizens Bank in Pennsylvania. Investigators believe the pair have a habit of this kind of crime. The duo is also accused of other heists in New Jersey while wearing headscarves. The women, a 19-year-old from Connecticut and a 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic, were arrested and charged with bank robbery. For InsideEdition.com, I'm Lee Shepps.
An Alabama woman with an interesting name has pleaded guilty to a bank robbery in Gulfport, Mississippi. Gulfport police say iconic face of Ashford, Alabama, robbed the bank Court South in March of 2019 when she gave a bank teller a note threatening to kill her if they didn't give the money. Court records show Face was also found guilty of another robbery from 2009 and has been sentenced to the maximum of 15 years for each crime.
Black bank robber, same person? A Florida man has pleaded guilty to committing a string of robberies with the help of an elaborate disguise. At least 6 banks were robbed of a total of $15,000 in the Ohio area earlier this year. 5 of the banks were robbed on a single day in April. Witnesses said the suspect was a black man, and surveillance video backed up the reports. Until police officers got a tip. Officers searched an Ohio hotel and found an exploded dye pack from one of the banks inside a vehicle. They arrested 30-year-old Conrad Zaderick, a white man who clearly does not resemble the black man witnesses had seen. During the robberies, he wore a high-quality mask to cover his skin, using the hood of his sweatshirt to cover his hair. He had a whole new identity. Investigators say it was the best disguise they've ever seen. Zaderick, who is not a U.S. citizen, faces up to 35 years in prison and deportation at the end of his prison term. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
2 great-grandparents say they were handcuffed and detained for about 40 minutes after police suspected they might be bank robbers. 86-year-old Otis Dugar and his 67-year-old wife, Dimitri, still can't believe they were mistaken for armed thieves.
I really had to think, sir. If I would have made any false move, they would start shooting.
Otis, a Korean war vet with glaucoma, and Dimitri, who's diabetic, say it happened after they left their Oak Park bank. Dimitri driving Otis to this Denny's when they were surrounded by Oak Park and River Forest officers, all with guns drawn.
Yelling, "Get out of the car, put your hands up." And when I'm having a bad knee, I cannot get out. They ask me, who's in the car? I say, my husband. What's his name? I say, it's Otis. Does he have a gun in the car? I say, no, we don't have any guns. Well, if he's got a gun in the car, we're going to shoot him.
They say they were handcuffed in separate vehicles, detained for about 40 minutes, and ordered out of the cars several times to be identified by bank witnesses. In a statement, the Village of Oak Park said the incident was a case of mistaken identity based on the initial report of an eyewitness to an armed robbery, and that the witness continued to say the individuals were the ones seen leaving the bank. A bank teller finally telling cops, "You've got the wrong suspects."
Yes, sir. Bonnie and Clyde.
He can't see to drive. And I can't even walk fast, let's only run. But we bank robbers.
86-year-old Otis, who's a retired City of Chicago worker, says a sergeant did apologize. Tonight, it's unclear if police ever found the real thieves.
Tonight showing the moment 2 masked men robbed an armored car security guard at gunpoint. We first told you about this story in our newscast at 4 o'clock. Those suspects even started shooting at one point, hitting businesses near Glenmont Drive and Rampart Street. Our Bill Spencer joins us live there now with a closer look at that video. Bill?
Christine, a very dramatic attempted armed robbery taking place this afternoon right here at the Senior 1% check cashing place. The 2 armed gunmen out to steal a huge bag full of cash that was being delivered here by an armored car company. It's 12:50 this afternoon, and the bright red Dunbar armored truck pulls into place at the Senior 1% check cashing store. Within seconds, 2 armed gunmen, one of them carrying an assault rifle, race from their truck to attack the armored car delivery man who was carrying a bag full of money.
The Dunbar security guard, he was delivering money to the location. He went inside the business. Two suspects came running in, one armed with what appeared to be an AK-47, the other one with a pistol. In the video, it appears that the suspects shoot at the Dunbar security guard, knocking him to the ground, and then they run off with his bag and flee the location.
Here you see the gunmen fleeing the shooting scene, one of them carrying that big bag of cash, running as fast as they can to this black Ford pickup truck before driving off with their stolen money. Now, those two armed gunmen are at this point on the loose. They are at large, and police are looking for them. One more very interesting detail. One of the bullets that they fired wound up going right through the wall of Champion Pizza, which is located right next to the check cashing place. The owner of that pizza parlor, a man named John, did not want to go on camera to talk about this. He's still very shook up, but a bullet went right through the wall, just missed him. He was at the counter making a pizza when that bullet came flying right through the wall. Reporting live in Southwest Houston, Bill Spencer, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Bank robber busted. Tevin Sufrank of Lauderhill is now behind bars on a string of charges. He is being held without bond. The 27-year-old had been wanted by the FBI since Friday after he allegedly robbed a Chase bank. Federal investigators released these images. They say that's him in the bright orange jacket at the branch off Sheridan Street in Hollywood, handing the teller a note demanding money. No one was hurt, but he did walk away with cash. It's unclear if that money was recovered when he was arrested.
All thanks to pictures on Facebook. Jamont Terry is live downtown with more in this story. Jamont.
Carol, in this day of social media, everyone is online, and that includes police officers. After someone robbed a bank inside a grocery store, it didn't take officers long to find the evidence on Facebook. Back on June 22nd, someone walked into the Pick and Save at 35th and North and handed the TCF bank teller a note. It read, "Give me money or die." This surveillance picture gave police a clear image of their perp. Detectives also noticed something distinctive about the sweatshirt's logo. Officers discovered another image. This time, it was on Facebook. It shows Malik Hartfield posing the day before the robbery in that sweatshirt.
Put it on Facebook, really? Who does that?
Facebook is open. It's for everybody. Officers determined the sweatshirt was for employees from a company, and only 40 were made, and was not made available for sale to the public. They got the employee list and quickly identified the bank robber as 18-year-old Malik Hartfield.
I think that's, in some situations, Facebook should be used to catch criminals.
He just made it too easy for him. When officers went to his house, court papers revealed Hartfield even kept the robbery note. It was recovered in Hartfield's bedroom.
Keep it a note. It's just dumb.
Too easy. Too easy.
Now, thanks to what he posted on Facebook, Hartfield is charged with a bank robbery, and that's no laughing matter.
Dumb criminal. That's all I mean, really. Dumb criminal.
Police say they also found his fingerprints on that robbery note, and to make matters worse, his own mother ID'd him in the surveillance video from that bank robbery. As when it comes down to using social media, MPD tells me it's fair game if it's out there for the public to use, to look at. Reporting live outside police headquarters tonight in downtown, Jamont Terry, today's TMJ4.
Social media.
The video we first broke at 6, a bold bank robber who can't escape the cameras. Simon Shaketi is live in Redford outside the bank that was targeted. Pretty clear picture of that guy, Simon.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. The exclusive video we are about to show you is of this Huntington bank being robbed. And let's just say when it comes to the suspect, there is plenty of FaceTime. On his way to pull off a quick score, this bank-robbing bonehead walks right past the camera without even realizing it. He then confronts a bank teller, showing off a handgun and demanding she give up the cash.
Based on the way he was acting and the way he moved through the bank and the fact that he was so calm, I certainly believe this is not his first time in doing this.
As he talks to a teller, he's wearing latex gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints. He visits 2 different tellers, then decides he's ready to go. But it appears the wannabe tough guy can't even scare another customer into leaving with him. All this playing out 3 days ago at about 4 p.m. at Beach Daily and Grand River.
What's a real concern is that he actually displayed a gun to both tellers.
Cops say the guy's English D hat could be a sign he's also from the area.
We're hoping that with the quality of video that we have, there has to be somebody that knows him.
Now, the bank robber left in a blue or black late model Oldsmobile or Buick. If you know anything about this crime, please call Redford Police right away. Live in Redford, Simon Shaquette, 7 Action News.
Beat, police are searching for 6 armed robbers who dramatically stole an unspecified amount of money on Monday afternoon at Prime Bank, Mombasa Road branch. In a separate incident in Nairobi, 4 robbers were today cornered by members of the public as they attempted to rob Cooperative Bank University Way branch. Police had to shoot in the air to disperse the angry mob. NTV's Setolale has that report.
Monday, 2:45 p.m., a group of 6 armed gangsters dressed in a jungle green reflectors make its way inside the premises housing Prime Bank, Mombasa Road branch. One armed robber stays behind, posing as a guard manning the gate, his right hand holding a pistol tucked inside a jacket. Another armed gang rounds up security guards just outside the banking hall as 4 others enter the premises. The 4 thugs confront 2 policemen attached to the Critical Infrastructure Protection Unit stationed at the main entrance, forcing them to surrender their firearms. All the while, the armed gangster continues to man the gate of the premise with unsuspecting motorists passing by. The machine guns would later that day be dropped outside Kiambu Hospital by a border passenger. As 2 members of the gang order everyone in the banking hall to lie down, 2 others head straight to a cashier on duty, ordering her to pack and hand over the money. At some point, a gunshot is heard. The robber manning the gate appears impatient and starts signaling the rest of the gang members to leave the premise. Moments later, the 4 gang members emerge from the banking hall with bags believed to be carrying money. They are assisted by 2 robbers who are keeping watch outside the building. The gang then splits into 2. 2 robbers take off their reflector jackets and flee using motorcycles.
Really? These 2? And the guy who's going now that way? Guy, they've taken a lot then.
The other 4 dramatically escape on foot with bags of unspecified amount of cash. Shortly after, the apprehended security guards, policemen and some bank employees emerge from the building. The person shot by the robber is unable to stand any longer.
They've ran, they're running nicely, wow. Aki, did someone get shot? Aki, guy. Oh my God.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, which confirmed the daylight robbery, is holding the police officers attached to the Critical Infrastructure Protection Unit as persons of interest, perhaps for failing to give any resistance. A bank cashier is also in custody. Prime Bank is yet to issue an official statement on the robbery or indicate the exact amount stolen. In which they reportedly attempted to escape in, was cornered by border operators, and it took the intervention of police officers to save the suspects from the angry mob. Seth Olale, NTV.
Robbing stagecoaches? I need something I can set it off with. There were a lot of reasons I decided to do it. I mean, the character was one of them. Cleo is so different from anything in my life, for the most part. She's just so opposite of me, and she's crazy and just cool. She's all right. She's a good friend, but she's out of her mind. And I wanted to do something like that because then I had to get rid of the stereotypical roles that I get that are just Queen Latifah in a different way. You know, through someone else's eyes. I wanted to do something that was just off the wall like this.
There were, of course, the ones that were really dangerous as far as, like, when we crashed through the front of the bank, we didn't do. And what they did was they hired a stunt double, and she crashed through the bank, and she did a fantastic job. We were all there while she was filming. I couldn't believe. I mean, she, like, crashed through it, went, like, kind of on the curb, down, and then down the street, and kind of swerved and missed a couple other cars. I was like, wow, we're going to look like, you know, or at least Latifah is going to definitely look like she can drive. But as far as robbing the banks and all of that, I did all my stuff. So there was no stunt double. That was me in that wig. I know you having money by now, Cleo. Now what you gonna do?
Rob another damn bank. What the is y'all thinking?
Oh, it was real fun. You know, I got to work with 3 very powerful, talented women. We all gelled and became really tight. Just do what we had to do.
Latifah and Jada, we knew each other before we filmed this, so for us to bond, it wasn't difficult at all. It just made it that much easier for us. But we did spend like 2 weeks together where we just kind of hung out and ate and talked about what we were going to do, talked about the dynamics of the characters, the relationships. We just put history into it so that when we put it on film, that it was believable that these girls had a history together.
Well, they knew each other, and, you know, of course they didn't know me, and I knew them from their work, and but they took me in and embraced me and brought me in the circle and made me feel a part of it.
Only way we're gonna see Cash is we take a bank.
She's very similar to characters that I've played in the past, but she had a lot of levels, and I thought also that it was a story of this kind that was being told through the eyes of a woman, of women rather. You know, and you don't see that a lot.
It was about the integrity of the characters and the commitment of the 4 girls as friends, their friendship, their passion and their friendship. You don't see that, especially with 4 black women together on screen being, you know, as in love with each other as we were. And I loved that about it, that positive representation.
Don't be afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think that they think the marketability of it, like, gosh, would people go see something like that? Do you believe that girls could get that tough? That was the main thing, and I hope that this opens the doors to them. Like, hey, I don't know if you noticed lately, but there's a lot of roles where girls are being tough, kicking butt, you know what I mean? Kind of pulling themselves up by their own bootstraps, and I just think that it's about time.
There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. There are some gender reveals that reveal more than just the gender. They can reveal the agenda of a predator. The latest episode of the Suspense Files is available on demand now. The insanity that rocks the cradle. The pregnancy predator. On the Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Rated R for strong content, thoughts, and ideas. Sometimes you don't know who you're sleeping with. Sometimes you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. All you know is that you have to have it, and you have to have it right now. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. On this episode, we're covering sex and murder, sleeping with the setup chick. Rated R for strong content and language. On the Suspense File, we cover the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why in urban crime. From crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, and urban cold cases, and more. You won't be disappointed. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. And be careful. Welcome back. You are listening to the Suspense Files. I am Sister Speak. The Suspense Files covering the who, what, when, where, why, and urban crime. They set it off. They tried to. They tried to. They tried to set it off. They figured that this would be the day that they would not get caught. But you see, they made the news. They made the news. Some people are inspired by the movie Set It Off, and other people are inspired, as I aforementioned, by Bonnie and Clyde. And other people are inspired by the fact that they're hungry, they're thirsty, and they're tired of being broke. Other people are inspired by the fact that they just get a thrill out of being a criminal. Whatever the reason is, you heard the news clips and you didn't see, but going into a financial institution is a risk. But there are people who are willing to take that risk. Some people actually do get away with it, and there are a lot of people who do not. You don't ever escape it in this as spiritually. You know, you're always duly noted of what you're doing. However, the urgency to obtain money and the levels that people are willing to go are perilous, and they are definitely in the season of being in the lava. You know, it takes a lot to carry around an AK-47 in the first place, and then to want to, you know, rob somebody who is bringing in a certain amount of cash for a check cashing place. That is something obviously that was premeditated, but it does not end well. For the simple fact that a lot of times, you know, with the money being marked and everything like that, it's just not an easy getaway. And then one day, you know, no disrespect, but you're looking, you know, kind of bummy. But then the next day, because of this heist or because of this robbery, now you're dripped in Versace. You used to have on Stems, but now you actually got a real pair of Tims. You used to wear Psyches, and now you got on some Nikes. I mean, you know, whatever it is, people are really suspicious of the rapid glow up. Not hating, just wait a minute. We're all living in this complex, and you were just in a 62 Cutlass, and not a souped up one, not one that you could take to the car shows, but like one where it's like every time you start it, it sounds like you need to give it Robitussin instead of gas. And the next day, you're in a 2022 Audi. Did you get your taxes, sir, ma'am? New job, bonus? Did settlement come in? Inheritance, possibly? Scratch off ticket? Did you go to the casino? Price is Right? Did you play Plinko? How are you in a 2022 Audi when you were just in a 62 Cutlass? The Cutlass, the license plate said "We shall overcome." It was Dr. King's old Cutlass. Who, sir, ma'am, sir, you're balling out of control suddenly, and it raises suspicion. The police are looking for you. Hello. I don't know if you watch the news or not. You know, a lot of times most criminals they like to come back and survey the scene, and they'll be right there on the scene wherever the crime was committed. You know, they watch the news, you know, to see if they're on to them, you know, but seriously, like, you know, they're looking for you, right? You didn't think they were not looking for you. No, the police are diligently looking for you. And you might get so careless that you decide to do this again. But the people in the complex, excuse me, who are waiting on their fourth stimulus check, they are expecting that everybody probably stay in this condition. Like, we shall overcome, not individually, not I shall overcome. No, F that. There's somebody who is watching you, and they know that some shit ain't right. It's not the PPP loan. This is some different shit. And they're going to watch the news later on, and they're going to be like, wait a effing minute. Wait a fucking minute. Hold up. That look like such and such and such and such. That look like baby girl and baby boy. As a matter of fucking fact, that is. And let me tell you something. In times like these, whether a pandemic or not, in times like these where people are needing money, you better hope that you and you and them, they, y'all, y'all better hope that there is not a Crime Stoppers reward. You better hope that there is not a $5,000, $10,000 reward or up for y'all. I'm telling you right now. Bring. I need y'all email address. Yeah, just email address. Ma'am, you know you've called 911. I need y'all email address. I need the email address for Crime Stoppers. Ma'am, just call the Crime Stoppers number. Okay, thank you. Click. Bring. Crime Stoppers. I'd like to stop a crime. Yes. No, I'm in the complex. Yeah. No, they're here. Baby girl and baby boy. Now, hold up. I can't tell you what complex I'm in. I need to know, how am I going to get this money? And it can't be in installments. It cannot be, well, we got to check everything out. If I drop this dime, you need to drop them tens. No, I need all my bands. Do y'all do Cash App? Okay. All right. No, I don't want no check. I don't want no check. I don't want no check. I don't want no money order. Nah. As a matter of fact, since this is the police station, I should be able to just come in and get the 10 bands, because I know y'all got it there in the contraband room. But I'm telling you right here, right now, in these days and times, I normally would not make this call, but dear Crime Stoppers, I know where they at. But you need to know where my Cash App is at, too. I'm telling y'all right now, how do you think y'all get caught? Just like Homeboy, he had the shirt on the day before. I think his name was Malik. He had on the same shirt the day before, took a picture of it on Facebook. And it was the shirt from the job that he worked at. Only 40 were made. It's not a shirt that you can buy. Sir, come here. Malik. Hooked on crime. Hooked on crime. Not hooked on phonics. Hooked on crime. What is this about? Do you need some cliff notes? Sir, and I'm not trying to tell you how to commit a crime. I'm not telling you next time you go do it, don't post. What I'm saying is don't do it and don't post. Yeah, look at me. Look at everything that I just did. I mean, the slowest of slows. You know, the slowest of slows. You know how the Most High God is the King of Kings. You are like the slowest of slows. You're giving me turtle energy. You're giving me constipation energy. Some ain't moving. Some ain't clicking. And then here it is. Yo mama, yo granny, yo auntie and them got to sit here with the first 42, because it ain't the first 48. It's the first 42. With the first 42, and they got to look at the picture, and they got to say in their head first, before they admit that this is your ass, damn it, golly, this old stupid mother, you probably about 10 motherfuckers in their head. You stole the money and you posted it. Now, this is an embarrassment to your parents, not only because you posted it, but because you're their child. That you came from them and that they were not expecting this. No day or time, no night in time. Do your parents ever want to have a knock on the door and have to identify your ass, excuse me, identify your ass on a piece of paper doing the least. This is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. And it wasn't worth it. And then you went in on with the shit. You said, give me the money or you die. Okay, Malik, whatever your name is. I understand the trenches. And I understand that whatever you were working for wasn't enough. We can all relate to wages that are bullshit. You put in all this labor to make the head of the company, the owner, the CEO, rich. And whatever you're making is mere morsels and you're tired of the shit. Millions upon millions of people can relate to being tired of the shit and having to make somebody else rich, having to put in so many hours only to come out with a check that's $273.65 after taxes. Your gross was about $450, but you're taking home $200 plus. Yes, that is some bullshit. You got shit to do. You've got to go and buy whatever. You've got to go and do whatever. And you've got to get whatever. And you don't have enough. And there's a lot of people in this world who do not have enough as far as money is concerned. They may be rich in the spirit. They may have a lot of spiritual gifts. There's a treasure within them spiritually, but on the financial aspect, shit is not adding up the way they want it to. There's a lot of people that want to be in permanent overflow, that don't want to make payment arrangements, don't want to put shit on layaway, don't want to have to ride past restaurants and stores and not be able to get things that they want or need because there is a financial lack. There are millions of people, good people, light workers who are experiencing financial adversity. Financial adversity and hardships are prevalent at this very moment for millions of people. There are millions of people who are saying, if I could just have $5,000. Now, to a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, that's nothing to them. But it is a whole lot to somebody who has a whole little in that aspect of their lives. A lot of people know that there's a certain amount of freedom that comes from being financially free, debt-free, that don't want to borrow, that don't want to have to owe, that don't want to have to take a loan, a pawn, a payday loan, don't even want to have to go that route, don't even want to have to put on the countenance that comes with not having that financial gain, abundance, not be at their 10 of Pentacles, okay? There are a lot of people who, if they could just get their hands on a certain amount of money, that would help them out, that are not sleeping, that are missing meals, only eating one meal a day, that have had to, really go through some different avenues just to eat, just to make it. And some have even thought about setting some shit off if they could just do it, but they know that the risk does bring about no reward, and the reward is not worth the risk. And something turns off in your mind, in your righteous judgment, when you decide to premeditate or not and go forth with going into any financial institution and waging war on all parties involved because of your situation. It does not dull your situation, but you're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating yourself, your family, the community, the village. You're just cheating. All parties involved are affected because now you can't even enjoy what it is that you did. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any CENTSs. And it doesn't make any SENSE. It doesn't make any sense. Because nothing came about it. You were not able to come out of what you thought this would bring you out of. Now you're even further into what you're what you're in, and there is a financial, probably some type of form of restitution, that you have to pay back because of your negligence. You dropped the ball on yourself. And these desperate times, man, are serious. People are going through different avenues, but setting it off is an avenue that creates a limited amount of happiness, if that, but a lifetime of a record, and having to overcome that temptation of stealing, robbing, and making a dash, doing the job with ease. One couldn't stop. It's like he had a disease. He robbed another and another and a sister and a brother. He tried to rob a cop that was a GT undercover. It's real children's story. And when you put yourself in cheat mode, how can you really sit back and reward yourself and feel and bask, right? Bask in the fact that you earned this. It's one thing for the Most High to give it to you, Most High and Yah to give it to you, but for you to go and take it or try to do some type of spell work, voodoo, or black magic to try to make yourself be abundant and cheat, that cheat code, it comes with a heavy price. It feels good to sit back and know that you earned this, that you're living by the sweat of your brow. Yes, it is. You're looking at it, and you're not walking by faith because you're looking at what's before you and saying, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm tired of living in this condition, and I just want better right now. But you need to learn something about this moment right now. You cannot rush the right hand of the Most High God. And it is His choice, and it is our effort to receive and hold on to that which He wants to give us, and to maintain it. Receive, maintain, right? Hold on. And to be able to put ourselves in a position to where we can help others. Because in totality, we don't want our brothers and sisters going out and committing these crimes that make the private institutions rich. Once again, the reward only comes for the private institutions who want to continue to enslave you and put you in a position where you are no good. That you are constantly making them rich by only earning 5 cents a day. You went from earning $15 a day to now you're earning 5 cents a day. You got to make it make sense to all the Maliks out there. Make that shit make sense. It doesn't. It don't make dollars, and it only makes a little bit of sense because at the beginning of the day, what you thought was a reward was only a risk. And you took it. And you take it. Because people are out of work. Their minds are going into their south node. They're going into a low vibrating energy, and they are saying something has got to give. And there are some people who don't want to open their mouth and ask for help because of arrogance, some, because of ego, some, because of pride, some, because they are embarrassed, some, because they're ashamed, some, and because the other people on the other side who are not experiencing financial insecurities, some of you, not all of you, you're rather nasty when it comes to helping. You're rather nasty in your responses when someone comes to you for help, whether it be monetary or not. You think that this is a moment for you to mount yourself up on a pedestal, to have your nose so high in the air that a bird could literally pick your boogers with its beaks, and you shun those who come to you with tears in their heart, tears in their eyes, having to muster up the courage to come to you and say, will you please help me? I need help. Do you mind giving me? And I will return unto you at this time, if I'm able to, or I will get it back to you as soon as I can. humbly, genuinely coming to you and saying, will you help me? And some of you respond with nasty, low vibrating energy that will put you in a situation where you will experience the energy that this person who came to you asking for help is experiencing at a later time, and you may experience it tenfold. Because you're arrogant. Your heart is hard and haughty. There is no ounce of philanthropic energy coming from you. Some of you have been approached and you profess to be believers. Some of you have been tested several times on your beliefs about giving, and you have failed. And you had it. It didn't hurt you to loan it or even gift it. But instead, you mocked, you criticized, you embarrassed, you magnified the shame that was already there. You said things that were hurtful to somebody who was already wounded. And you're the same human that will say that you're blessed and highly favored. By whom? Who are you blessed and highly favored by? And how? Quick to talk about your tithes and have no understanding about what tithing truly is. No ounce of benevolence in your energy. When someone approaches you, you say things like, what are you doing for money? What are you doing for work? What's going on with you? Why are you asking for $5? Why are you asking for $100 or $1,000? Whatever it is, what are you doing? Some of you may send a link for how to build a resume or to go look for a job. Some of you will actually be nasty in your questioning to somebody who you've known for a long time or not. But then some of you are the same people who will take pictures of you doing community service. You want everybody to see how you are doing this and you're doing that. You're doing this giveaway, you're doing this. But then when it comes time to you being biblical in your giving, you miss the mark because it is a photo op for some of you. Have you ever considered the fact that the person that you're helping does not want you to take their picture? They don't want to be on the video. They don't want you going downtown with a camera showing you giving them a bag of toiletries and some sandwiches. Maybe they just want you to just do it in spirit and in truth and not in vain. For someone to give you 1 million likes. For someone to stroke your ego and to say, oh, you're such a good person. No, you're an opportunist. If you are on Skid Row, if you are in a homeless shelter, if you are in any type of place where it's pretty bad, and these are your living conditions for the season, do you want someone to videotape you receiving toiletries, handouts? Do you? Do you want this to be something private? Because it is the ones who do it in, those who do it in private will get the public reward. But some of you are pseudo blessed. You have luck. You're not blessed. You have luck because you're not doing it in the way that the process was already set out. You dropped the ball. And then that knowing that you have it, knowing that instead of being disrespectful with your speech, that you could have been encouraging, that you could have said, here you go, my sister, my brother, and I just want you to press on. I want you to be encouraged. I don't know what it's like to experience exactly what you're going through, but I've been through some struggles, and the Lord has blessed me. And it would be less than me to help you out. I'm not going to say anything. You don't owe me. Or when you do get it, give it to me when you do. But get back on your feet, my brother. Get back on your feet, my sister. While you're sitting at the gate called beautiful, accept the Most High God and Yah to be your leader, owner, ruler, and deliverer in your life. I'm praying that you'll be able to take up your bed and walk. I'm praying that whatever attacks are on you, that they be removed, that they be reversed. I'm praying that your lack will be filled with nothing but abundance. I pray that you climb the mountain and get to the valley. I pray that you get to the table that is prepared for you before your enemies. I pray that you receive the anointing. I pray that you come into wisdom. I pray that you grow, that you glow. I pray that you run on. I pray that you get to Nineveh. I pray that you're able to do exactly what you've been put on this earth to do. Half of you will never, ever, ever possess the energy that I just shared. Half of you will never. And I have cut off many people. And some of you are getting ready to cut off many people. I have learned a lot about what it is to need and how people are either going to be there for you or not. I have learned how not to be when I am in permanent overflow. I have learned how to handle people with care. I have learned that if they come to me for it, that I should never put a pressure or a time frame on them to return it. I've learned how to discern who needs help and who doesn't. I've learned that there's no way I could live on this earth and be in permanent overflow and not think about my brothers and sisters in the village. I've learned that I can't pull up in an Audi 2022 in the spirit while there are people around me in a 62 Cutlass that are all on all donuts. All four tires are donuts. That the car is falling apart. And I see this and I turn my nose. That's not how I was created. That's not how I'm made. And that's not how my creator is. And I'm grateful that I have that type of DNA running in me and that type of thought process running in me, that I don't ever want to turn someone away and have them go and then do something that I could have because I was put in that place to help, but I didn't do it. Then I failed the test, and now here they are breaking news. Some of you are so fucking selfish, so fucking vain, so fucking arrogant that you're assholes, and you need to know that. That you're stingy, scroogey, frugal, misers. Did I mention assholes? And you wonder why. You wonder why. Have you not paid attention to how the Most High God every single time he puts those who were in the pit, he places them in the palace, that they do get to the palace, that they do get to their table, that they do get to their abundance, that what you threw out there, what you tried to stop, what you tried to block is going to be your demise and your pit permanently, that you will enter into a famine where you will need the very person who you fucking turned away when they were hungry, thirsty, just needed a gallon of gas, needed $5, $50, whatever it was. You had it, it would not have affected you. But you felt like having evil, unrighteous power in that moment. And you failed. But then you took your ass to church that Saturday, that Sunday, that Wednesday, putting your hand in the air, falling out, running around, shouting, singing songs, doing all these histrionics. You know, you went to the Performing Arts Center and you did your bit and you did all this bullshit. And for fucking what? For fucking nothing. That does not excuse anyone going out, putting on a disguise, and going into a financial institution and robbing the joint. And then ending up in the joint, wanting to smoke a joint because they stressed the fuck out. It is an energy, money. And we have to balance it. We have to come into a genuine awakening and say to the Most High God and Yah, teach me how to be wise with money. Teach me, show me the wells, the streams. Help me to get out of my south node and into my north node so I can operate in a high vibration, so I can manifest abundance and keep it, share it, and help build the community, the village. I need to know how to save, how to balance my books, how to have money set aside for emergencies or not. I want financial freedom, Most High God and Yah. Please bless me with that. I don't want to go and make an OnlyFans account. I don't want to have to bust it wide open or narrowly open. I don't want to have to do, things that are strange for change. I don't want to be gay for pay. I don't want to be a whore. I don't want to be an escort. I don't want to be out here doing shit that's going to make my soul damned. I don't want to slide down the fucking shower wall because I'm letting people do things to me because I have a love of money, and the love of money that I have is the root of all of my evil. I don't want to have a root called evil. I don't want anything growing out of me that is evil, and the things that I'm thinking about doing, I know is going to put me in a more fucked off position. I genuinely need help. These are the things that we're asking, to put us in a proper position. But I don't want anybody ever to mimic the attitudes. If you have ever encountered those nasty, arrogant attitudes from anybody, I don't want you to be that energy. No, ma'am, no, sir. I don't want you all to sit there and say, well, you know what, they did it to me, I'm going to do it to them. I don't want you to only want money just so you can stunt on people, so you can pop your collar, so you can show this and show that. That's not what the fuck this is about. That's why when you sit down at the table that is prepared for you before the presence of your enemies, the reason why your head is anointed with oil is to keep you calm. It's for you to remember that you are not to pop off and act a fool and do the most. You are to have what's called dignity and integrity, a righteous energy and attitude, because you don't need to be like them, because look, you made it. So why have an attitude? You made it. Through everything that was thrown your way, through every perilous crevice, trench that you had to go through, you made it. You made it. You were able to get over that mountain. You were able to climb it. You were able to shake things loose, cut things loose. You were able to untie the cords. You were able to reverse these curses. You were able to return to sender. You were able to do the things that you need to do because you desperately wanted to get to the water. You desperately wanted to get to the green pastures. You wanted to eat. You were hungry. And you knew that in this valley, there was a table for you. There is a table for you. So why have an attitude with your enemies when you're eating? They were trying to stop you from eating, but you're still eating. They were going to try to cut you off, but you made it. You made it up and over and around all of these places They set snares for you, traps for you. They try to take you out. They try to do death rituals on you. They try to do everything but God. But the Most High God, and y'all said, no, you cannot kill her. You cannot kill him. And look at everything that you learn and are learning. Look at what you have gained and are gaining. And you're going to sit down there and your head is going to be anointed and your cup is going to run over. And then surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life, and you will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So be it. Amen. Fuck them. You don't have to give them no type of ugly energy. You're going to keep a good energy, and you're going to eat well. Show them how to eat. Show them what dignity looks like. Teach your enemies how stupid it was of them to be your enemy. Joseph had to do it. Famine in his brother's land. Famine in the land. And look, they had left him for dead, jealous of him. Family. Jealous. Left him for dead in a pit. That is some fucked up shit. That your family doesn't give a fuck about you and would leave you in a pit. Put you in a pit. Don't give a damn about you crying, what it's going to do to you, the elements that you'll be exposed to. They don't give a fuck. They're going to throw you in this pit because they're jealous. Because they don't have what you've been gifted to have. They haven't been divinely favored. And they put him in a pit. He went through a whole lot of 8 of swords, being in the 10 of swords, being in all these sword energies because of his brother's energy, and he still made it to the palace, being falsely accused of someone in position of power. And what he was falsely accused of, it could have had him at the guillotine, decapitated, crucified, slaughtered. Falsely accused. That's some shit when your family makes up some shit about you. When people lie on you and spread your name and smear your name because of what the fuck they did. Trying to hide it. And he made it back because he was able to interpret dreams. He had interpreted dreams while incarcerated. Just fine-tuning his gift. Gifts while you're still in captivity. And then one day, we all have a one day. And in this journey, we will have several one days. One day. Joseph was on his way back. Second in command, y'all. There was a famine in his brother's land. They didn't recognize him. He shut the door. They were humbled. All of what he was in control of, power of, and he could have easily said, fuck you, and fuck you. I don't give a damn how much your stomach is growling. I don't care what you got going on. You didn't give a fuck about me. You didn't care what about my situation. Nah, that wasn't his energy. He could have done anything with his power, but he chose to vibrate high in spite of what they chose to do, which was vibrate low. And he came into an abundance. And he shared his abundance with integrity. Now, that may not be everybody's story. It may not be for you to feed your family. It may be that their karma, their judgment, is for them niggas' stomachs to growl forever. For them to continue to be in famine, lack, destitute, because that's what they sent to you, and that's what they wanted for you. And that could be the Most High's judgment for them. I'm not here to decide, but what I am here to tell you is that when you do get to the table, that you are to eat with grace, because that's what's going to be following you, along with mercy. To sit with your enemies, those who wanted to kill you, those who wanted to see you starve, those who laughed about your situation, those who talked about it, those who got on the phone and gossiped about it, those who, when they saw you in your time of being not in the pit, they were jealous and they worked a way for you to not have what you have anymore. Those people, they're going to be in such shock that you're coming over the mountain. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. What do you mean he's not in the pit? What do you mean she's not in the pit? What do you mean we sent so much fuckery their way? What do you mean we intentionally wanted them to starve? Yeah, we had the money, but we don't give a fuck. Fuck her. We never liked him or her. Whatever it is, I'm telling you, my brother and my sister, don't do anything unrighteous. Continue to ask for help. Open your mouth, and the Most High God will help you. And when you do get to your abundance, do not forget those who blessed you, helped you, loved on you, encouraged you, prayed for you. Not prayed on you, but prayed for you. Don't forget those, and the Most High God will bring them to your memory. Bless them. Don't forget to bless them with interest. But you can't set shit off. You can't stick people up. You can't take what the fuck is not yours. You can't come into the village and pillage and plunge. You cannot walk into a financial institution. I don't give a fuck which one it is. You cannot do it. It is not worth you going to prison, federal time. It is not worth having that on your record. That is not who you are. You're desperate. You're in need. Now, on the flip side of some of this shit, some of y'all might just be going through this because this is your karma. And you have nothing because this is your karma. If you play with money spells and shit like that, the devil comes to collect. Some of you have what you have because you've done some fucked up shit to get it. You cheat. It is hard holding out sometimes. It is hard when you need the money, but you ain't got it. When you need, when you want, but you just don't have it. It's hard watching social media sometimes, seeing all these people flashing their dough. Stacks and stacks of bands, right? Just throwing money in the air. Yeah, it's hard when you see people doing anything for some money. And here you are, trying to make $5 stretch for 2 weeks. And you're about sick and tired of being broke. You tired of this shit. Something the fuck has got to give. And if it doesn't give soon, you might have to do some things that you never thought you would do. And if you set it off, that means it was never on. And can't shit be on if it's off. So everything that you thought was going to be on, once you get the money, and nah, it's really fucking off. You need to watch the movie Set It Off and see how it turned out. It doesn't turn out how you think it's going to turn out. And some of you need to say to yourself, I'm not Cleo. I'm not Frankie. I am not these women in Set It Off. This is not really happening. Some of you need to really detach yourself from watching these movies if you're getting influenced to go and do things that are of a lower vibration. Don't be envious, because when you're envious, you may end up in an energy that has you literally saying, nah, we're finna go walk into this institution, this financial institution, and we're gonna get this money. If you work at a financial institution, I probably wouldn't tell my people. Like, if you work at a bank, and I know somebody like, oh, yeah, I'm so excited I work at the bank. Oh, my gosh, oh, this is my dream job. All of that shit. But some of you be blabbing to the wrong people that you work at the bank. Some of you work at the bank because that's just a part of the ploy, and that's what is really, you know, it's really all a part of the premeditation. This is all a part of the organized crime, to have one of you go in, work in the bank, learn the system, and then you're going to set it off. So you think, I don't know why they came to my window only. No, I don't know them. I do not know them. I don't, oh my gosh, they took everything. I mean, just shit. Next thing you know, all four of you are on the news because you was in on it too. Is it worth it, sis? Is it worth you losing your job? You got to think about your babies, whether you have them or not. You need to think about your future. If this is what your man is asking you to do, I'm just telling you, your man asking you to go set some shit off, that's not love. That's not lust. This is something you need to learn before you even go do it. Any man that's going to ask you to be a part of a heist does not give zero fucks about you at all. And he might end up killing you, talking about he going to give you half. He's not going to give you half. He's going to kill you or put you in a position where he rats you out and says it was all your idea. But you're so in love with this man, so you think that you're willing to do any fucking thing for him, any fucking thing for her. And you're willing to go these lengths because you've been watching too many fucking movies about duos. And you really think in your mind that you can really do it. I don't know what's going on. But this ain't, it's not going to work well for you. But you're in this mood where you're having this sex and it's all of this brainwashing and all of this energy exchange, and you're just not making good decisions, and he's now asking you to do something that you're going to live to regret. Regret. What the fuck is regret? Regret. You're putting yourself in a position where the state might have to raise your children. Your mama might have to raise your children. You're putting yourself in a position where you may not get to finish your accreditations, school. Now when you go to get a job, it's no ma'am, we're not fucking with you. You want to work where? As a cashier? Fuck to the no. Because nah, y'all robbed 4 banks. It's like a felony. You know, and now you have this dark cloud following you because you love this nigga. This nigga did not give a fuck about you. He needed somebody to drive the car. But if you're like me, that shit ain't happening. I will never be the fucking getaway driver. I'm not helping you. The moment you ask me to take you to the bank because you need to make a deposit, and I see you making a mad dash to the car with a bag, a mask, and a gun, nigga, you better understand what a locked door is all about and what hitting the gas is about. Fuck you, I had no idea. I'm telling the police every fucking thing they need to know. I had no idea. No, nigga, I'm leaving you right there. Oh, hell no. No, your hand will slip off the door handle. I don't know what speed you plan on letting go of, but I am doing 45. No, you're going to somersault on the concrete, you and all that money, and you might get hit by a car behind me. This is real shit. The moment I see you coming out of the bank looking like Usain Bolt, talking about start the car, fuck you in your life. Fuck you in your life. Or you come yelling out, I told you to keep the car running. Oh, wait a minute. Abusive, emotional abuse. You're yelling at me. People are looking. Wait a minute. Oh, no, we're not going to be on TV one for my man. You got me all fucked up. When I said I want to be an actress, I'm talking about a voice actress. I don't know what you think this is, but no, I will talk to you through the window, with the window rolled up. I'm not opening up shit. What you mean? Quit tapping on the window with the gun. Put that fucking Beretta away. Nigga, no. I'm not doing that shit. Don't text me talking about where you at. Nowhere, nigga. I'm invisible. Where am I at? I am sitting here with Detective Henderson and Detective Williamson. That's where the fuck I'm at.
Drop your addy so I can get this crime spree money, this Crime Stoppers money. This is real in the field. We are not going to sit up here and rob anybody. And I'm telling you now, if this is what you're trying to do to keep him, to impress him, because you don't want to tell him no, you're in the danger zone. You are in lava. You are in lava. Because this trap life ain't for you, sis. Some of y'all want to be in this trap life so fucking bad, but it is literally a trap. And money can be a trap in a low vibrating energy. And the love of it is the root of all evil. Now, some of you like to try to change that up and switch that up, but it is what the fuck it is. It's the root of all evil. No relationship should ever pressure you to walk into any institution and stick the shit up. Some of you go into the institution by yourself because your man is telling you to go in there, because if not, he's going to beat your ass. Some of you are in some hostile situations doing a lot of shit to get some money. You're on the run. You're going from state to state, city to city. I'm in your city. Some of y'all really on some serious Be Legit type shit. Like Be Legit the rapper type shit. Y'all are really, really in the next city. On the run. On the fucking run. On the run, and the money's getting thinner and thinner, and so you're going to have to do another robbery to keep this shit going because you don't want to get caught. But it's getting worse and worse by the day, by the minute, by the hour. And the money, you got about $100 left. Now he's telling you to go out there and sell some ass. What do you mean? Get your ass out there and sell some ass. We only got $100. I don't want to sell my ass. Get your ass out there. Get your ass out there. Okay, you didn't have to hit me. He ain't never hit you before until y'all had only $100. Now you know that when it gets to $100, the nigga gets violent. And not only that, he makes horrible suggestions. And he intimidates you. And because you are the weaker of the two, now you're out there selling some ass, doing something strange for some change. No man that ever loves you will ask you to sell your ass. He never will. He'll never ask you to go and walk into any type of institution and rob the joint. He's not going to ask you to go on a crime spree. To my brothers and sisters who are right now contemplating your next move, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You don't know how you're going to pay this bill, that bill, but you know that you're tired of it. You're tired of it. You can't keep going through this. You're thinking about it. You think you can get away with it. You think this is the perfect plan. Everything will go off without a hitch. You'll make it out. No, the getaway car will get away. You'll count the money. You'll travel. You'll be rich. Afford anything that you want. Never to be declined or denied. You'll have social status. You'll fit right in. You'll be like your favorite rapper, your favorite athlete, entertainer. You'll be better than the guy next door. Whatever it is, you know that if this actually happens, you'll have access to what you've never had access to before. And so you're willing to take the risk. Even though there's no reward. You said nobody would get hurt. You lied. Many people were affected. You didn't give a fuck when you let off that AK-47. All you thought about was the money. And that level of evil, what goes around comes around. Are you willing to rob your brother, your mother, your father, your sister, an old person, a young person. Cheat the system, scam, pyramid scheme your way to the top. Do you love money? Do you have a hold on money, or does money have a hold on you? I'm just asking. They set it off. Try to. Nobody will get hurt for the love of money. All risk and no reward. To my brothers and to my brothers and my sisters in the village who have done some things that they should not have done. Repent. My brothers and sisters that have been chosen to come out. My brothers and my sisters that have been chosen to come into the marvelous light. Repent. To my brothers and my sisters who have not done anything strange for some change, but you're like 2 pennies away, hold on. 2022, y'all willing, is going to be the year of permanent overflow for many of us. Our harvest is manifesting. Yeah, you don't see everything sprouting right now, but just in the twinkling of an eye, by God's grace and His mercy, by the Most High God's grace and His mercy, we shall receive and reap a harvest. If we faint not, so you can't faint. But it's coming. And your enemies are going to be mad as fuck. And we don't care. Fuck you for even wanting or wishing or even participating in putting us in a position while we're having having financial attacks and difficulties. For those of you who play with the feast or famine magic, famine will be your permanent situation, especially for my enemies. There's a day coming where your stomach is going to growl, where your throat is going to yearn for just a drop of water, where you're going to need me. I'm going to be in the room with some people that are going to be like-minded. And when you get hungry, if Yah tells me to, I'll feed you. Because Yah told me to. Don't set it off, y'all. Hold on. The risk is not worth the reward. Until we speak again, brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I'm your host, Sister Speak. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Yeah, 2022, delete and block. Y'all gonna be mad, but you auditioned for it, right? We'll be right back after this commercial break.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Say it with me, brothers and sisters. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am divinely protected, and so is my listening audience. I return to sender all negative energy, demonic energy, satanic energy, evil eye, magic, and energy, mirror magic, death rituals, feast or famine. I return to sender and reverse it to every single one of my enemies and the practitioner. or practitioners. It reverses into your bosom 100-fold and has an adverse effect immediately. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Brothers and sisters, we are divinely protected. My listening audience is divinely protected. Warriors, warriors. I said warriors. Mount up.